Get informed on what is happening in our political scenes and people who are making headlines in different parts of the country and the world, right here at TAS TV. Join me, Lavin Nyagowa, as I bring to you weekly news highlights that are factual every Friday at 4 o'clock. See you then.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho na nipimia, na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia. Hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love, I don't fake it. Hey, kumenya mawazo makuu. Nani anadera shule? Oh, utani waku.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Fiki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. My student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni. Good evening, welcome to today's news recap. My name is Lavin Nyagowa. Let me take you through what has been happening throughout this week. Speculations surrounding the relationship between President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua is intensifying. This comes in the wake of Gachagua's government shareholding remarks, which reportedly clash with the State House views. In a notable response, President Ruto condemned a notion of locating government based on voting, labeling such ideas as primitive and backward. Gabriel Kimare has more.
President William Ruto has differed with the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over the sharing of national resources, development and senior government appointments. Ruto, who was speaking in Siaya County during his development tour, has maintained that no region should be discriminated against based on the voting patterns in the last election when it comes to development. The head of state has said that he will tour all parts of the country to launch development projects.
It is primitive and backwards for anybody to imagine that any region of Kenya cannot get development on account of how they voted. That is not right. That is not correct. And I want to assure the people of Kenya that we are going to move together as one nation.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua caused a storm after he claimed that Ruto's government is a shareholding company in which only those who supported Kenya Kwanza in the last year general elections are true shareholders in the government and are given front row seats when planned jobs and developments are rolled out.
Sindio? Ni shares. Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana. Sasa nyinyi muli invest kwa hii kampuni ya William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Sasa lazima mvune. Yule ambaye alipanda atafanya nini? Simulipanda? Simuliamuka mapema? Mukasema mutaki kusikia mambo ya ile system na nini? Muka invest, mukapanda, mukapalilia, mukaweka mbolea, mukamwagilia maji, wakati ya kuvuna ndio huu.
The DP has remained unapologetic over the remarks and has clarified his position that there are those who will be given priority.
I have no apologies. I am unapologetic to demand and to insist that those who believed in William Ruto and supported him to a man have every right to benefit immensely from his government. I have no apology at all. And if that can bring a problem, so be it. So be it.
Gachagwa's shareholding narrative has caused concerns among many leaders in both government and opposition.
Sema naibu yako ndiye amesema ati hao watu watakuwa naangalia tu. Yeye kazi yake kukaa pale kuangalia kama gatekeeper. Wewe uko na shangapi? Wewe huna chochote, rudi nyuma. Wewe kuja hapa mbele hapa namna hiyo.
And the deputy president should be the last person to talk about shareholding, because he took an oath under the constitution.
Hii kitu ya shares sasa mwache. Wakenya wote tuko ndani ya serikali ya Kenya. Maneno ya kusema unajua hii sehemu shares sijui nini, share yote, sisi Wakenya wote tuko ndani ya shares za Kenya.
Sababu ya mazao yenu na ushuru ambao mnalipa, kila Mkenya ni shareholder. Mkenya wote ni shareholder katika serikali ya William Samoei Ruto.
Many Kenyans have given their views on the DP sentiments, with some supporting the narrative while others criticizing it.
Kwa majina naitwa Francis Wakava na mimi ni mkaaji wa Kirinyaga na mimi ni Mkenya, si ndio? Kulingana na matamshi ya Vice President ya kusema wale wakuwekeza kwa serikali hawatakuwa nini na nini, ningesema hiyo ni si mzuri, kwa sababu kila mtu ni Mkenya na ana haki ya kupiga kura pale anataka. Kwa hivyo huduma zozote za Kenya zinatakikana hahudumiwe.
Naitwa Honest Kamande Mwangi.
Maoni yako?
Maoni yangu ni kusema tunaunga Gachagua mkono. Mount Kenya tulipatiana 47%. Tunastahili kuheshimiwa. Kabisa. Voti zetu zinastahili kuheshimiwa. Na si maoni mabaya. Unajua president anaweza sema hivyo because he is a sample of yeye ni mkubwa wetu wote, yule alimchagua na yule hakumchagua. But for us, for me in Mount Kenya, kusema kweli niko nyuma ya Gachagua 100%.
Will this be the beginning of a fallout between the president and his deputy? Reporting for TAS TV, I am Gabriel Kimare.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has given the nod to the Nairobi County Finance Bill, ushering in notable changes aimed at benefiting the city's residents. The new provisions exempt preachers from fees for preaching in public spaces, while car owners witness a reduction in parking fees from the originally proposed 300 to 200 shillings on weekdays. Artists and videographers will be charged 3,000 shillings instead of the initial 5,000, and the 500 shillings fee for family planning services in public hospitals has been abolished, ensuring free access.
Initially, in market stalls and market services, there have been a proposal to increase levies by 30% on market stalls. However, after public participation where we listened, those charges were revised to a modest 10% increment given inflation. On alcoholic drinks and licensing, and this is very interesting, every single public participation session proposed a raise in those charges because of the, sprawling nature of these establishments, not just the public participation sessions, but my own engagements with those in the public transport sector, the matatu sector, the taxis. Impounding charges were retained in some areas and reduced in others to drive compliance. But beyond that, the fees charged to those matatus that don't terminate in the CBD were halved. In physical planning, land and housing, which is our biggest revenue source, we had proposed to increase rent by 25%, but following consultations with the great people who have given us mandate, we have only increased that by 10% in our estates. In parking, the new law provides for new parking zones that are well defined. As we move and adopt technology, we will increase measures to make sure you get value for your money when you come into the CBD. If you come for a few minutes in the CBD and many zones, you don't have to pay for the whole day. But for now, the new charges introduced for registration of taxis and border borders have been accepted by the sector because even they want order and dignity in the provision of their services.
Defense CS Adan Duale has announced the formal withdrawal of Kenyan troops from Somalia, with completion expected by December 2024. Duale emphasized the mission's success as the driving factor behind this decision. In a recent TV interview, Duale clarified that Kenya's presence in Somalia is not solely under the Kenya Defense Forces banner. Instead, they operate as part of a multinational force under the United Nations and African Union. And as Anthony Ogechi now reports, to fortify border security and counter potential threats from Al-Shabaab militants, withdrawn soldiers will be redeployed to buffer zones along the borders.
Speaking when addressing the Senate, the Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale says that the Kenya Defense will withdraw from Somalia by December 2024, when all troops contributing the country under the African Union exist the Horn of African nation.
So already there is a phase out or a drawdown of troops beginning April last year, and that drawdown will end in December of 2024.
The CS, however, stated that the drawdown is not happening without capacity between Somalia and the National Army and the other local security agencies in the Horn of African nation.
Alongside our other contributing partners and international colleagues, is actively, Madam Speaker, engaged in Somali security forces capacity building to ensure that there is a smooth transition.
As the troops leave Somalia, according to the CS, more permanent forward operating bases expected to be established along the border of Kenya and Somalia to defend the external attack.
Of inside and outside a buffer zone to make sure that there are no elements of terror and its affiliates that can cross to our country.
Kulingana na maoni yangu, wanajeshi kuondoa pale Somalia next year itakuwa the good solution. Juu hatujui hawa watu wamekufia huko wengi sana, wengine madada zetu, madugu zetu, na wameishia huko na hata hatujui faida yao, yani hatujui maana ya huko kukaa huko ni nini. Kama vita iliisha, watu warudi kwao.
Kuhusu hiyo issue ya kutoa wanajeshi Somalia, I don't think it is right, kwa sababu you never know what will happen. Sababu sometimes ni vizuri wako kwa sababu sometimes wanakuanga sensitive na kujua kile ambacho kinaweza fanyika at any time, but tukishawatoa na tena warudi nchini, it will be hard for us to it will be very hard for us, especially unaweza sikia kumebomoa mahali fulani bila ya kutarajia. Mimi maoni yangu nasema tu wacha waendelee kukaa Somali, wakabiliane na magaidi. Yeah.
Ninaona wanajeshi hawafai kutolewa huko Somali, sababu hii ni kazi ambayo wamepewa, wanafaa kulinda nchi jinsi ipasavyo. Sababu watakapotolewa huko, hatujui ni jambo lipi ambalo litakapofuata.
Maoni yangu ni warudi Kenya, wasaidie Kenya. Pia sio kubaya, lakini kama vita ilisha, siorende vita imeisha huko. Wakurudi Kenya, sasa wafunge hiyo mipaka. Hao watu wanakujanga kutuhuku wasikuje, sababu wasikuje.
Duale also outlined the family of soldiers who dies in the line of duty receive compensation immediately.
The families who have lost their loved ones are entitled to compensation package that includes financial support, which is promptly disbursed within a week, within 2 weeks.
The family of soldiers who dies in the line of duty while in the country is entitled 4 million shillings, while those in the mission abroad the country receives 7 million on top of 4 million given to KDF. This is for the family left behind. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Anton Ombui Ogechi.
Still on matters security, Interior CS Kithure Kindiki has announced a policy change impacting the National Police Service. Kindiki stated that officers stationed at the same location for over 3 years will not receive their salaries. They will be transferred to new postings by the end of the year. This move aligns with the recent police reforms presented to President William Ruto by the Police Reforms Task Force. Mohamed Ali with more details.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki says the National Police Service will stop salary payment for police officers who have been stationed at a particular station for more than 3 years. According to the CS, The decision was adopted as a part of their police reforms presented to President William Ruto by the Police Reforms Task Force a fortnight ago.
It has now been decided that going forward, no officer who has served for more than 3 years should remain in the station they are serving. The signal went out 2 weeks ago, the day when the Task Force on Police Reforms presented their progress report to the President. And now it's part of the policy reforms that we have initiated, and we are expecting, we have given the police command a maximum of 60 days to make sure that all officers countrywide who have stayed for more than 3 years, not 5, must be transferred.
Police officers who fail to oblige will not receive their salaries until they transfer.
But on the 3-year transfer is mandatory. In fact, the directive by the government is that any officer after the 60 days who continues to resist or for whatever reason does not move to a new station, the salary will be stopped.
However, Kenyans have different views concerning the issues of the transfer.
Kwa majina naitwa Francis Karanja Moria, EV Edward Karanja kwa Facebook. Maoni yangu kuhusu hii mswada ambayo iko kwa bunge ya askari kukaa katika kituo kimoja kwa miaka 3, naona haifai, kwa sababu hapo ndio kutakuwa na uwezekano wa yeye kuwa amezoeana na wakora, wahalifu wote watajuana, ataweza kuwa ana mobilize a certain group na atakuwa na organized gang yake. Kwangu ningesema ingekuwa ni vyema anakaa miezi 6 anaenda, miezi 6 mwingine anakuja, ndio kusikue na ile uzoeano.
Kwa majina yangu mimi naitwa Francis Oithaka Mwangi na mimi ni dereva wa tuktuk. Maoni yangu hiyo mnasema ya polisi kuhamishwa, mimi naunga mkono. Akimaliza miezi 6 anahamishwa juu ufijaji inaisha. Juu akizoeana sana na watu ufijaji inakuwa mingi. Juu lazima ahongwe. Hata pope ya manini mseme isa iwe siisha. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga sana mkono watu wahamishwe.
According to Justice Onesmus Makau, the National Police Service NPS must first consider the nature of their families, especially those with school-ongoing children, before deploying them to the new stations. According to Makau, even if an officer in their oath swore to serve anywhere in the country, NPS should take into consideration these factors before transferring them. Reporting for TAS TV, my name is Ali Swaleh.
Well, that story on police officers brings us to the end of the first part of today's news recap. We head on a very short commercial break, but remember we still have more for you, so stay put.
Katika kipindi tunakuletea wasanii.
What's up my guys? I go by the name Rainams.
Eti nikipita kwa macho unanipimia na kama sina pesa unguwezi nipimia hapa Shenster the Poet manze.
Ngoma moto moto.
If you wanna show some love but don't fake it too. Enda kumenya mawazo mako. Nani anadera shie. Utani wako.
Vichekesho mkisongaza, mahojiano moto moto, stori za wasanii pamoja na talanta za wasanii.
Muziki wa kasi gani kama wapatikani wakati wa shida.
Na pia kwenye kipindi utabambika, utajijenga, utaelimika, utakuza talanta yako.
My name is Rebecca Mutie, I'm a model and I'm Afri Kenya. I'm a student. Napenda kusikiza kipindi cha Bonga na Katoni kila Jumatatu kuanzia saa 9 mpaka saa 10.
Kumbuka ni kwenye Bonga na Katoni ndani ya TAS TV kuanzia saa 9 hadi saa 10 kila siku ya Jumatatu.
This is Bonga na Katoni in TAS TV. Karibuni.
your name?
My name is Kevin Kakum.
Gitui Francis.
From which school?
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
What did you learn while at TAS TV?
Improvement of my skills in graphics, such as motion graphics, video editing, photography, also communication skills.
Camera operations, video editing, and improved my skills in graphic design.
Would you recommend anyone?
Yes, nilikuwa hapa TAS, skills zangu zili improve on communication with fellow co-workers and teamwork when doing certain projects.
Yes, new skills in photography. Communication, I have built more in communications through interaction with other colleagues or people outside there.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your attachment at TAS TV?
7.
8.
Generally, what will you say about TAS TV?
Wow, it's amazing being here.
I think it's the best place to be. Yeah.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing TAS TV. Now, let's have a look at the health sector. Kiambu County is set to provide comprehensive healthcare to its residents with the launch of universal healthcare coverage in the county. During the launch at Kirigiti Stadium, Governor Wamatangi emphasized the program's role as a healthcare equalizer designed to benefit every resident. This initiative is a collaborative effort between the National Health Insurance Fund and the Kiambu County government, offering an affordable healthcare package to all recipients.
Today signifies a great milestone in our county as we unveil the much anticipated universal healthcare program, christened Kiambu Afya. It is the embodiment of our promise to deliver high quality and affordable healthcare to our people. And we initiated the universal healthcare mass registration with NHIF in partnership. Throughout the registration process, we were able to enlist 70,600 households, encompassing more than 300,000 beneficiaries. By the close of this year, we expect to have eclipsed over 100,000 households, which will in turn translate into almost 500,000 individuals. Through Kiambu Afya, the individuals covered by the county's program can access inpatient services at government-accredited hospitals in every part of the county. Additionally, for outpatient care, residents will receive excellent services at our county facilities right here in Kiambu. But that is not all. My administration engaged with NHIF for an enhanced cover for the beneficiaries. They will receive more benefits that include treatment of chronic diseases like hypertension, popularly known as high blood pressure, and diabetes. We are not just covering your health. Kiambu Afya also includes last mile expense cover. For the last expense cover, if a registered beneficiary of the Kiambu Afya dies, NHIF will give Kenya shillings 100,000 to the family to cover for funeral expenses.
Still on matters health, Kisumu County has received a supply of specialized medicine focusing on patients in critical condition in their fight against malaria. This medication primarily targets reducing malaria infections among children. The strategic move underscores the county's dedication to eradicating malaria, particularly among the most vulnerable. The availability of this specialized treatment is a vital enhancement in the ongoing battle against malaria, reinforcing the urgency of early intervention and care.
remember, you're dealing with something that is close to an emergency. The last thing is that you want is to then put another impediment in terms of preparing the medicine. Previously, there were several vials that a nurse had to use before they could do it. Now you just take the powder and take one vial, mix, and give the medicine.
With IV artesunate, sometimes it's the reconstitution. So sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge, especially if you're dealing with very young children, because the volumes are quite high.
Medicine can be very good, but the last point of actually getting the patient can be the limiting thing. Those are the things we are trying to do to make sure we address.
Let's now have a look onto sports. 25 young individuals from Kwale County have successfully qualified as referees, enabling them to officiate matches in various leagues, including the FKF. This achievement stems from the rising number of leagues in the county, offering not only sporting opportunities but also employment prospects. By investing in this training, Kwale County aims to divert these youngsters from illegal activities and substance abuse. These referees, who honed their skills throughout the Shift Talent Development Project, have now gained official certification from the FKF.
Kutafuta mbinu ambapo kwamba inaweza kuwateka nyara vijana ili kwamba waangalie masuala makombo ni mazuri katika maisha yao kuliko masuala ya kupigana. Na tumetumia mchezo kama njia ambapo kwamba tutaokota vijana ambao kwamba walikuwa labda hawana kazi ya kufanya, waje karibu waweze kufundishwa michezo.
Urifari unasaidia, urifari ni kazi, bora tu vijana wawe na focus, waachane na uoga, waichukulie kama ni kazi na watafaidika.
Maarifa huwa analaumiwa sababu watu wengi kule mtaani huwa hawajui sheria za mpira. Sasa unakuta watu wanaamua tu kuangusha vurugo sababu ile sheria iliyotumika hawaielewi wala hawajasoma. Sasa kama referee kule mtaani unafaa pia unaweza wafundisha kama wale watu wa karibu.
Hawa ni FKF Kwale certified referees. So wako kwenye level ya county league kwa saa hii. So at this level saa hii wanachezesha tu at the county branch level. County league tournament within the Kwale County.
Kuongezeka kwa teams, kuongezeka kwa leagues, kuongezeka kwa tournaments ingeleta uhaba mkubwa sana wa match officials. Kwa hiyo swala hili la kufundisha match officials imekuwa ni swala zuri ambalo litakuwa binafsi kama FKF na hata mashirika wengine na hata mashikadau wengine wa soka watakuwa na nafasi nzuri kwa sababu tournament zao zitakuwa zinacheza vizuri bila ya kukosa match officials.
Vile vile sasa na sisi tunajivunia sisi kama wasichana hapa Kwale County, na pia kulingana na jamii kama inavyosema mtoto wa kike hafai kujitokeza katika mambo mengine. Kazi yake ni kukaa nyumbani na kuwa kama mtu, yani kufanya kazi za nyumbani tu, lakini nafurahi sana leo kuwa hapa na nimekuwa arifa.
Tusifinye nafasi za wasichana katika michezo, manake hata wao inaweza kuwa kuna degree yake lakini akalipwa zaidi na mchezo wa soka. Kwa hivyo hata taasubi hiyo katika ukufunzi ama makocha, katika marefari pia taasubi imekuweko kwamba wasichana hawafai kuwa marefari. Lakini leo hii tunajivunia kuwa na wasichana 6.
It's now that time that we get a little entertained, because too much work without laughing can sometimes be boring. It's time for Brain Busters, brought to you by yours truly, Anthony Ombui Ogech.
Welcome back to our Brain Busters, and my name is Anton Ombuyo Ogechi. Mambo vipi, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Purity.
Mambo vipi, unaitwa nani?
Millicent.
Wanakuitaje wewe?
I'm Fidelis.
Wanakuita nani?
Audrey.
Sasa what always in front of you but remains the same ni kitu gani?
Sorry?
What always is in front of you but remains the same ni kitu gani?
In front of me but remains the same.
Hey y'all, come look at this.
Ai, hewa.
Mambo vipi, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Frida Karanja.
Noti ya shilingi 600 iko na sufuri ngapi?
2.
Vipi, unaitwa nani?
Anaitwa Simon Kish.
Mambo vipi, unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Jogona.
Sasa between yesterday and today, which comes first?
yesterday.
So kama nini, what always it is in front of you but remains the same? Unaona kama ni kitu gani?
Pass.
Inaitwa?
Are you normal? Are you normal? Are you normal?
What always in front of you but you cannot see it? Ni kitu gani?
Always in front of me. It was in it. Nisema na Kiswahili? Hapo utosi.
Always in front of you, something always in front of you but you cannot see it. Ni kitu gani?
It's about to go down.
Shaitan.
I am not the first one. Wait.
Begins with E and ends with E.
E and ends with E.
The name that begins with E and ends with E.
What are you looking at? What? What are you looking at?
It begins with the E, ends with the E, and it has one letter. Ni gani?
E.
I am the one, the way you can.
Tupatie mfano wa vokali.
S. SK.
Will you keep quiet?
A giraffe, it is one of the domestic animals. Name another animal which is a domestic animal.
Domestic.
2 hours later.
Oh, akuna.
What is the difference between domestic animal and wild animal?
Domestic animals, they live at home with people, but wild animals zinakaa huko kwa forest.
Giraffe is a domestic animal. Nitajie domestic animal ingine ambao unajua.
Kuna rai.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
That marks the end of our Brain Busters. Join me next time. My name is Anton Ombuyogechi.
And Brain Busters marks the end of today's news recap. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to follow us across all social media platforms at TASTV_KE on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, at TASTV on Facebook, at TASTV Official on YouTube, at www.tastv.co.ke on our website. Let's meet same time, same place next week. God bless you and have a lovely weekend. My name is Lavin Nyagowa.
Is the newest, most exciting entertainment show where nothing is off limits.
We bring you real, authentic, and raw conversations.
Enjoy good vibes, fashion, and lifestyle from your favorite celebrities.
Fun, trending topics, games, and educative segments.
Every Tuesdays from 3 p.m. and Saturdays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. With me, Lavin Nyagowa
and Hazel Jeru.
Only on The Unfiltered.